Oh, wait, do you want me to do the circus intro like I did last week?
I like that.
Okay.
How's your gut?
Just give me the go.
All right.
It's always big.
All right. Give us the countdown.
I'm going to sit on my... Not ready.
Are we ready?
No.
You're okay.
Oh, teddy bears.
Teddies.
Is that blocking my view? I think it is.
You look good.
Your view?
Yeah. Oh,
What?
do you have your phone ready?
Oh, no.
Let's
Is
do
your
that.
phone off?
Let's do that. Well, it's
My-
off, but
Okay.
for volume. But we got to tell people what we're doing. Right?
That's right. You guys have dual roles.
Shit, the
Yeah,
bed.
we're multiple. This is how we know who's making comments.
I'm going to have to put my glasses on.
I know
to
I've
read
made
that.
comments to try to give you guys something to talk about.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hey,
It's been quite.
All right, what?
Nothing. I have it up. So
You?
I'm ready.
Yeah, because
Are
you're
we
the
live?
main one.
Are we on?
No.
Not yet.
That's running.
That's
Camera one's running. Okay, you can let us know that, and then you can hit go live on that one.
All right. 3.
2, 1. Okay, you ready? Wait, you ready? Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Nothing Scripted.
Nothing.
Coming to you live from the beautiful market shops in Sandestin Beach Resort in Florida.
We think.
We think. We hope. Oh, I just got an update, so yes, we are.
No, listen to her with her volume.
Oh, look at me. Man, that's an awesome intro. I hope you guys heard it. So, anyway,
Thanks,
welcome
Yara.
to the show, guys. I'm Wes Herndon,
I'm Paul Vizard.
and we have our special guest, one of the nicest dudes on the planet, Mr. Steve Ortner from Gulf Wind Paddle and Surf.
And surf.
And Surf.
Don't forget the
don't
surf.
forget the surf part. It's critical.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Today we've got a great show for you. We're going to be talking a little bit about this impending spring break visitors that we have coming
It's
in.
here, isn't it?
Yeah, they're here. They're starting big time this week and getting heavier for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Heavier?
I'll talk a little bit about driverless cars, and we'll talk about my top 6 things, and we can add to that as a group
I had 5.
of things to avoid when you visit the Emerald Coast on spring break. So that being said, we want to welcome Steve to the broadcast. Steve,
Yeah.
thanks
you,
for
gentlemen.
coming in.
Glad to be here.
Mr. Steve.
Tell us a little bit about, obviously, Gulf Wind Paddle.
Right.
Tell us about and Surf.
That's Gulf Wind Paddle and Surf. It's a retail shop in Santa Rosa Beach, right next to Louie and VKI, in that retail therapy shopping center. And we sell boat boards, SUP2U boards. We do.
What does SUP to you mean?
SUP2U is another local brand of paddleboard. It's a really high quality
really?
board. It's
I
in
did
the
not know
country.
that.
It's originated in Destin, Florida.
All right.
And Jamie's done a great job with the brand, and it's something very different than boat. So we carry a kind of a alternate brand to what boat makes, and boat makes the best paddleboard out there. Super stable. Guys like our size can even paddle it, which is great.
My size, too.
Your size too.
Okay.
Yeah, we got one just for you, Wes.
Nice.
It's a blow up.
Is it blow up?
Yeah, it
You'd be
is.
used
Do
to
they have
that.
swimmies?
Yeah.
You're going to need it.
But I was telling
Maybe.
Wes, we're basically a toy store for adults, but we're not an adult toy store. So it's a great place to
I
come
like
visit
that.
and
Yeah.
hang out. We've got a keg of beer we keep in there for our customers. So
Yes.
we get a little sipping in, and always some guitars and musical instruments in there that we get to play and hang
Yeah.
out.
Thanks for bringing some.
Oh yeah, we did the radio today.
That's our
Well,
sponsor.
yeah,
But-
one of the things I've purchased from you over the years is a ukulele for my
Yes.
daughter. Yeah.
How's she like it?
She loves it. She loves it. I wish she would play it a little bit more often, but she's when she does play it, she picks up something new every time.
Discipline. Just
Yeah.
hit her a little bit.
Yeah, beat her.
So, let me
Yeah.
get this right.
We're big on beating.
You sell ukuleles?
We do. We sell a
I had
really
no
good
idea.
brand of ukulele, and they've grown in popularity. All the kids are taking them to the beach parties, and they're hanging out by the bonfires, and it's really come back into vogue, kind of like everything else does. You know, it
Sure.
just keeps coming back.
It's
around.
all circular, right?
It's all circular.
Tiny Tim
kind of
sales are up
Asian
10%.
philosophy.
Yes, they are.
Cool.
So, it just want to mention to you guys any questions you might have for Steve about paddle boards or ukuleles or musical instruments locally or for us or anything you just want to contribute to the conversation.
Yep.
We are on Facebook Live, as all 5 of you already know. Be sure to go ahead and
Right.
comment. Tell us how we sound. We've had some technical difficulties in the past couple of weeks, so we
We're
want
not
to
going
make
to
sure.
talk about those, though, are we? Because
No.
we don't need to.
No, absolutely not.
And we know
because-
how we look, but we
Yeah.
don't know how we sound.
Right.
Yeah, it's
So-
looks shaky is the way I'm looking at it.
Anyway, so Steve, you've started a new thing with Paddle South Walton.
Yes, it's a new group. It's a paddle group designed to be built upon down here in South Walton. And what the objective is to get folks that like to paddle together. And we're going to explore about 28 different places to put paddle boards in. And we're going to create a map that'll be available for the folks of South Walton and the tourists and everything that come in town. But we paddle every morning at 8 o'clock, and we'll meet at a different location every week. And if you'd be kind enough to like us on Paddle South Walton on Facebook, we post our location every Wednesday, and we're going to, like I said, create a map that'll be used for a lot of people when they come down to visit. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good group of people. I mean, we did a nice little video shoot last week and saw some dolphin on our patio.
Nice.
So it was a good trip.
You said there. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
No.
After
No,
you.
I insist.
So you're going to print the map so people can
Yeah, we're
see
going
where
to
to
print
go.
the map. Yeah, and
That's
hopefully we'll
that
get about
sounds
5,000 or 10,000 copies printed by the end of the year and make it available through the tourist center up there. And that when people come in town, they can take their kayak or their canoe or their paddleboard and go explore these fabulous waters that we have down here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're excited.
That's terrific.
That's awesome.
You say you've already have, as far as the Facebook group goes, over 260 members. Is that
Yes,
right?
we've grown pretty quick. We established it a couple weeks ago, and a lot of folks from Gulf Wind have kind of shifted over into Paddle South Walton, and I think we'll be out over 1,000 by the middle of the summer. And I hope we don't have that many turn out every Saturday, but it'd be nice to have 20 or 30 folks show up every Saturday to go paddle with us.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Anytime you can get together and
It's a good
support
time.
each other is great.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, as we all know, living down here at the beach, it's always. I think I found, and you're not originally from the area. Well, neither. None of us are.
We're all transplants.
Yeah. There's like 12 people who grew up here.
Right.
But I found after we moved down here, we moved from the mountains of northeast Georgia, where people are a little bit more private and a little more reserved. We made more friends in the first 6 months moving down here than we did the whole time we lived in northeast
It's
Georgia.
amazing. Yeah. Everybody's very friendly, and we have some of the best water in the world. We've got these inland, waterways that come off
Sure.
the Gulf and the bay and the rivers, and it's just a great place to live and enjoy life.
Yeah, we just
Absolutely.
talked about that. We did the Emerald Coast Boat Show and Lifestyle Show down at Pier Park, and we were just talking about that. Where there's inshore boats, inshore paddling, inshore, and then on out to the Gulf. I mean, it's just all kinds of stuff to do around here. Rivers, the whole
Absolutely.
deal. Springs, even. It's great.
Yeah, so come on and see me, get a paddleboard, come out paddling with us, drink some beer, play some music. It's just a laid back kind of lifestyle, and we have a good time with it. So.
Well, when you get to the beer and the music, you've got
you're in there,
Yeah,
aren't
and if
you?
you got the big paddleboard,
And we'll
for
bring
fat
some
guys,
food in too, so we're all set.
Okay, yeah, that's what I need. A cheeseburger and a
right.
paddleboard and a beer, and I'm ready to ride.
So if I'm like Wes and I'm a starting paddleboarder, what kind of, I mean, if it was my first set of golf clubs, I think I spent like $300 on them. What kind of money are you looking at to get into a board that's going to suit you for your size, I suppose, is part of it too? And tell us all about that stuff.
And that's the best question probably to ask, because there's a lot of boards out there that are really inexpensive, and they're designed for the 100-pound person. So the average adult male is not going to be able to paddle those boards. They're going to fall constantly. So you've got to spend a little bit of money to get something with some engineering, some quality, some paddle dynamic to it. And that's the one thing that Boat does really well. Corey Cooper is the founder of the company, and he's a really smart engineer. And he's put a lot of dynamic into the bottom of the board, and the way the board performs in the water enables somebody our size to stay up and paddle with a lot of ease. So you've got to spend, $1,000 to $1,500, generally speaking, to get yourself in a good board. I've got some inflatables that hold up to 375 pounds that you roll up in a backpack and you throw it in the trunk of your car and
Nice.
pump it up and go anywhere you want to go. So it's a little bit of investment, but it'll change your life once you do it.
Sure. Well, and you may not be that size for long. I would
Exactly.
imagine.
You'll
You're
slim
getting
down.
out. I mean, you've slimmed down since I first met you, and
You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
I am. At least a scholar. I don't
Yeah,
know
I'll
about
give
the
you
gentleman
$5
part.
later.
Yeah,
They've got all kinds
absolutely.
of additions for fishing and all that kind of stuff too. For it's not just a paddleboard's not necessarily a paddleboard. It's almost like a stand-up kayak, if you will.
Well, Paul, you must have been in my store before.
Just the once.
Yeah. No, we have tackle racks and bucket racks, and so you can put 4 or 5 fishing poles on the board. We have tie-down stakes. We have all kinds of different apparatus that actually attaches and affixes to the board, so it makes it a true expedition type experience.
Sure. Brent Waldorf has kind of chimed in, and he says, "Awesome stuff, guys."
Oh.
And then you guys were hassling me about the Auburn shirt going into this, and
You
he
must be
says,
really lonely.
he says War Eagle. So
Yeah.
Brent is a quality gentleman. I'll just let you guys know that
My
up
wife
front.
is a graduate too, so
All right.
we have 2 followers.
Put you guys in a 10-by-10 room, I suppose,
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
as far as you can get there.
I'm going to get offended here in a minute. Eventually, at
I'll
some
keep
point.
it up till
Jones.
you are.
So, moving on a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more about paddle boards as we go.
Totally.
Is there a driverless paddleboard?
Whoa. Yeah, I saw one floating one day.
And that guy fell off. Anyway, you one of the topics you want to talk about a little bit today was driverless cars.
Well, I don't know about topics that I wanted to talk about. Yes,
We
Yara.
have a question for
Ooh.
From Joshua, are there any places to get used boards for a person that is starting off?
Great question.
Great question.
Right.
They are so good.
And that's
There's no
Josh
used ones
DeGolyer
ever.
is his name.
Well, Josh, the best place to start is on Craigslist. And you'll see boards priced from $100 probably up to $1,500 out there. Make sure you inspect the board, check it over for damage, make sure there's no cracks in the board, there's no water that's coming inside the board. If you have questions, see if you can take it to some place like Gulfwind. Let me take a look at it, and I'll let you know whether it's going to be water sound or not. You don't want to spend $1,000 on something that's going to sink the next day. But Craigslist is the best place to start. You'll find a whole variety of boards at different prices. Some stores out here actually do sell some used boards. The Yellow store down here does that, so I'm actually pushing a little bit of my competitor's brand, but they have a good selection of used boards out there. I sell strictly new, but we'll work you into a board if you want to come see me.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I was at the Renaissance Fair this weekend, bought a really sharp knife, and I thought I might whittle one. Think that would work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Out of
Paul, you can pull off anything.
nice. All right.
Yeah.
Another question from
No.
Amy Walsh. Are
Love
there
Amy.
any sizes that you recommend for beginners?
Good question. Both boards come in a 10-foot 6 size or a 12-foot size. And the 10-foot 6 are going to be predominantly for women or smaller folks. They generally hold up to 175 to 220 pounds in weight. The 12-foot boards are going to be a little bit more for guys of my size or greater. So I'd recommend a 10-foot 6 board if you're somebody that's kind of petite or a woman.
I like the terminology greater.
Yes, great.
That's great terminology.
So now, does that cut through the surf a little easier? If you're out on the Gulf?
The smaller boards are a little more maneuverable, and they're going to be a little bit more dynamic underneath your feet, so that board is going to dance around a little bit more on you. The longer board's going to track better, it's going to be more stable, and it's going to carry more weight.
But if you're entering a race, you want the speedy board, right? So
And then you start moving into a whole other class. They get narrower and longer, and they stretch out better over the water, and those aren't very stable, but they go quicker.
So that's for a more proficient rider
Much
or
more proficient.
paddler.
Yeah, we have some of those down here. We got a lot of good racers in the area, and they paddle a lot of the narrow boards.
Good deal. Now, I know you used to rent boards. Are you still renting boards?
I don't rent boards, and the
Okay.
difficulty with that is our boards are really high-end board.
Yeah, where'd you get that from? I don't even remember Steve doing that before.
When I
We
first
had
met
talked about
Steve,
doing it.
he was talking about doing it,
Yeah.
or
And the
Right.
difficulty with the
Way
renting
off
of the
there.
board is there's just the novice people, if they're grabbing a $1,500 or $1,700 board, they tend to damage it.
Sure,
And
sure.
so we really haven't done any renting at Gulfwind Paddle and Surf, but there's other locations down here that do rent a board. And they're generally
Here's where you got it
speaking,
from.
they're more durable.
Maybe.
They're not as paddle friendly.
Right.
They're more durable. So
Gotcha.
you're not going to enjoy the experience quite as much as you would on a board that's been kind of like designed by boat.
Gotcha. Okay. So the reason I brought that up is to kind of segue into spring break a little bit.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Segue.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
Thank you.
smooth.
It didn't work out as smoothly as I wanted it to. But however,
Something about the cars.
yes,
Went
absolutely.
away.
You know, we all live here, and
It's a hell of a commute.
Yeah.
We don't.
So you're messing with me now.
I know. So driverless cars.
Driverless
right? So
cars.
we're back to
okay.
that, aren't we?
All right. Well, I was
that would
moving on because you didn't act like you wanted to
That
talk
would
about
probably.
that.
Well, we were talking to Steve about his stuff, man. Gotta give
Sitting
the
right
man
over
a
here,
chance.
guys.
So allegedly, right?
Right.
States are looking at driving a car to be illegal within 10 years. Yeah, that's what I said, right? That's exactly my response when I read that. And I mean,
Within 10 years.
yes. So therefore, the actual driving a car would be a designated area, and not for how we drive a car now. So, I don't know. It's like mind control to me. It's like I want to be able to go at the speed I want to go at. I know it says 55, but every now and again, I'm in a hurry for a hamburger, and I want to go 56.
Sure. Or 57.
So a driverless car is just going to go at, can you imagine doing actually 25 miles
Well,
an
haven't
hour
they tested
and
that in
25 on our
California?
zone?
Yeah. They
Yeah,
started
that's where they're
testing
It
that.
hasn't really worked
Well,
that
Google
well.
has a car. Google has a
They're
car.
obviously every time there's a goof up, they are fixing the goof ups and figuring stuff out.
Right.
Any like any new technology, think of these phones. I mean,
Yeah, who would
before they
trust
used
a
to
car
just
on a
take
phone?
calls, and now they can't go further than an outlet.
Well, somebody like me, my wife says I'm OCD, and she's probably right because she is in the medical world, so she's probably got an educated opinion about it.
You wash your hands a lot.
Yes, I do.
What's your ritual?
At least once a week. But that being said, Notice how
You
I'm
need
avoiding
to
you.
stretch further.
Yeah.
How could you avoid me? I'm right here.
Oh, I was going to
I
take
got
care
some
of you.
left. I'm an Irishman.
Okay. So,
Yeah, that'd be great.
You can be on set. It's okay.
it's okay. So,
You might
Prettiest
brighten
of
the
the
place
group,
up.
too.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
it's a good time to mention our new sponsor, Ep4 Brewery,
Yeah.
out of
we go.
The Naked
Alabama.
Pig. The Naked Pig.
They yes, the Naked Pig IPA.
Brad and the guys.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
going to be awesome. We're still ironing out the details, but at some point or other, we're going to have some naked pigs up here. Which
Sure,
that sounds kind
sure,
of cool.
yeah.
So
It's
it's going
either
to be
extremely
fun.
gross or extremely awesome. Your choice.
So
but-
it's going to be fun. Yeah.
Well,
So
speaking-
anyway,
but
so the driverless cars. You're
yeah,
in, you're
it's-
in or you're out.
I don't like not being controlled.
There's where I'm at.
I barely am comfortable letting my wife drive.
I don't let mine drive. I'm
well.
the master of my domain.
I trust mine indubitably, so she drives everywhere. So
No.
My
Nice.
wife is an awesome driver.
you guys are in trouble tonight. I'm not.
No way, never.
My wife doesn't watch the show, so I'm good. She's
there you
working.
go.
Mine doesn't either, but trust me, she is a really good driver.
My wife usually, when we're out and I've had a few too many to drink, she makes me sit in the passenger seat. And at that point, I'm okay with it.
Not in the back seat, the passenger seat.
Well, sometimes the trunk.
Oh, the trunk. There you
Yes.
Yeah, I'm opposite. I do the driving thing. So
Yeah.
she can have a nice time.
Josh says he is out. He has control issues. He doesn't want a driverless car.
Right.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Josh. It's exactly the way I
go.
feel.
I kind of enjoy driving. I enjoy the experience
do.
of the movement of the road and the wheel in your hand.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I think if you take that away, then you
Right.
feel like you're just driving a train.
But
Right.
illegal is a little bit harsh, I think. You
Yeah,
know,
I
I think
agree.
we have the
Well,
choice of it. And now, some people say you'd
Thank
be
you.
more productive because you get in the car, you can, be doing some work. That's good grammar.
Yeah,
And
be doing
been
some
doing
work.
some work and stuff. Been doing some work and stuff. And
why do you have to throw
you
the
can-
southern accent with that?
because that's where it came from.
Oh.
And
Is it?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
From the south, pretty sure.
No.
So, you could be
That's
on your
Nebraska.
phone, sending emails, doing whatever, and not worrying about the road. So there is that aspect of it. I guess that's like driving a really small train.
It is. Little people move.
When you think about it.
Sure.
So I'm in for that.
There's part of it. It's just when you're coming up to a stop sign and then that last minute stop, or that following somebody too closely, or
Or the woman
But
with
I
the
enjoy
baby
doing
buggy
that.
Walks out in front of you.
yeah, baby
Oh,
buggy,
yeah.
buggy
Yeah,
walks
that's
out in
always
front of you,
scary.
that kind of thing.
Don't
I
take that
just-
away from me.
You know,
You enjoy that secretly, don't you?
yeah.
Seaside, they use strollers as an act. No offense, Seaside. It's the people, not the place.
And that's a registered trademark of Seaside. by the
Yes,
way.
that's true. And they actually use the people there use the strollers as a way to stop the traffic. I mean, it's
There's
just
a block and tackle
I
mechanism.
assume they're out, man, and it's like obviously we're paying attention in the first place, so we're okay with that. But kind of scary to use your kid as a traffic stopper, in my opinion. That's where I'm
Yeah,
at. Talking
it
to spring
is.
breakers, getting back to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking
Nice
of spring,
segue.
Yeah,
Yes,
another
that's
smooth
perfect.
move.
That was nice.
Oh.
I'm in awe of that segue.
That's why
So,
y'all are professionals.
It's
right?
almost
Sure.
like I thought it up.
yeah,
It just
yeah,
came out.
it is nothing scripted, I promise. So,
Clearly,
spring breakers coming into town. We were talking about
I enjoy them.
the pool, where we're trying to decide which college is going to have the most arrests.
Oh,
Which
coming
state's
in.
going to lead the pack?
Walton
Yeah.
County
Yeah.
Sheriff's Office, thank you for doing that. That's
was a
kind of
nice move.
fun.
Yeah, it is a lot
Doing
of fun.
I believe your town, what's that?
Not my
Georgia
town,
thing?
the state.
The
Georgia.
Auburn thing?
Yeah. No.
Aren't they
No.
ahead?
Auburn
Ours-
hasn't even had spring break yet.
Well, then they
UGA
got some catching up to do.
Georgia is leading the arrests,
That's
just like
what it
they
is,
normally
Georgia.
do in the NCAA.
Well, you know why Tennessee wears orange, right? So they don't have to change outfits when they get arrested.
There you go. There you go. But
Any Tennessee fans out there, see me later.
yeah, you can take that up with Paul.
Pretty sure they're not watching either.
Any Georgia fans, you already know how I feel about you. So,
Yeah,
anyway.
but South Walton's finest, they are making a lot of arrests.
Yes, absolutely
And
they
they're
are.
trying to keep people safe, and
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
Sure,
I
absolutely.
think
it
it's,
can be done.
I mean, if it's more of a deterrent and people learn for next year,
That's,
I
that's
think
right, right?
anytime we're,
Yep.
yeah.
And for them to
pretty serious
understand,
stuff, really, and we're making a joke of it. We shouldn't really.
no, we shouldn't. It's a serious thing.
But it is
You
kinda
come here-
funny.
Yeah,
Parts of it
it's
are.
hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. But Okaloosa is actually cracking down not just on underage drinking, but over by the Crab Trap, which is technically an Okaloosa County park,
Very technically.
very technically, and Okaloosa Island out on
Right.
the park, they're cracking down on just alcohol on the beach. So they're almost getting to a point to where Panama City Beach is
Right.
in regards to alcohol on the beach.
I mean, if you look at it sort of from a logical point of view, if it's, what kind of area are we trying to attract here in the first place? And no disrespect to any spring breakers that want to have a good time and do it safely. This is the place I would think to do it, But at the same time, it's just kind of like a Vegas thing, where they turned everything around and made it a family-friendly place to go. And it makes sense that the revenues go up from that because you have to more people come along. A few kids are coming.
Sure. I have friends in property management business,
sense.
and they granted, when somebody comes in and they pay $3,000 to rent out a place, that's nice. However, it's a situation we won't discuss that we discussed off camera earlier.
Right.
When they come in and do something they shouldn't do in that unit, that condo, or that house,
Yeah.
and in some cases, not saying that's the case we talked about earlier, but I have one friend in property management. I mean, he refused to rent to anybody during
College
spring
kids.
break because college kids come in and trash the place. They would have parties, underage drinking, whatever.
Well, if it's $3,000, they're going to put 10 to a room in there.
Sure, yeah,
Right.
they're going to pile
They
in.
can pile it in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. There are
Three
people
people
sleeping
are on the
floor.
paperwork.
Yeah, I mean, and
Well, you don't sleep on spring break anyway. I mean,
well,
it's
that's
a
true.
constant party,
Absolutely
so.
true. It's all party. You're on the beach during the day. You're
Yeah,
drinking
bars at
somewhere
night.
at
Yeah,
night. Yes,
exactly.
absolutely. So it's
It's a
You know-
thing. It's a thing.
it is a thing. But as Bernie spoke about last week, what was it? One of the companies, was it the cab company, lost $100,000
Yeah,
last
it was
year.
me said that.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize.
They're a client, so I know.
Okay, lost $100,000 just during spring break last year
Well,
because
their
of the no
revenues were off. I
alcohol.
don't know if they lost, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's a ton of cash. But
You know-
maybe it's better that a family's getting a ride with them instead of spring break. I don't know. It's kind of go both ways on that. But we got 7 minutes left, Wes.
Is that really? Okay. Well, let me give you
Same.
my top 6 things, and you guys can add in
How good was that?
anything to this list. But my top 6 things you should avoid
Top
if
10.
you're
Top 6.
top six.
Top six.
Wow.
Things you
In
should
reverse
avoid.
order?
We'd better write these
Yeah,
out for later.
no particular order.
You
No particular
post these
order,
on
okay.
for later so people can comment.
Yeah, we will post these later
you
for
think?
comment. These
And
are my
sharing.
top 6 things that you should avoid when you're down here on spring break, especially if you're in college.
What's number 1?
Number 1 is my house.
Your house?
Stay away from my house. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and if you are in my yard partying, and there's actually a story behind that. When we first moved down here, we rented a place behind Silver Sands, the place next, and we were on the bay. The place next door was is a second home, and the owner of the second home's son went to Auburn, so he's a good kid.
Maybe.
He was no, not maybe.
Oh,
He was a great kid.
affiliations with football teams.
But he brought some of his Alabama friends down, and they stayed in the house,
Wish he was a Buckeye.
and they were up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'd have to go over and say, look, guys, War Eagle to you, guy, but the rest of you guys need to shut the hell up because my daughter's sleeping. So stay away from my house if you're down here on spring break. All right, the second thing.
Well, that's universal then, isn't
Well,
it?
and you
Yes.
live in my neighborhood, so that's good. You're
Yeah,
protecting
absolutely.
me by
I
de
am
facto,
protecting
too.
you. Yes,
Okay, good.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Boy, you got crappy neighbors, man.
We do.
Yeah.
We're slumming it up
Those are
there.
big redneck boys like me. Anyway.
The redneck ginger.
I'm sorry
yeah,
for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway,
Yeah, go on. What's number 2 then?
number 2 is stay away from the. Are we still live?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Why wouldn't
I
you
thought
be?
we went out. The frat boy or sorority girl's condo. Nobody wants to do the walk. Well, the frat boy may want to do the walk of shame the next day. That's kind of a point of pride, I
Yeah.
guess. But you really don't want to do the walk of shame the next day, or the boardwalk of shame in the case of the beach.
Well, actually, I believe it's come on vacation, leave on probation.
Yeah,
So keep that in mind.
yeah, absolutely. All right. And then the next thing is the biker bar at 3 a.m.
Which one?
Yeah.
Any of them.
Are there?
Yeah. Any of
I
them.
don't think they're going there.
If you are wearing your polo or your Izod and you've got your Kappa Sig
You
hat
don't wear
on,
that anymore.
They don't wear those anymore. You're right.
How old
You're
are you,
dating
man?
yourself, Wes.
Exactly.
polo.
Totally kidding.
Right.
Anyway,
And you wear your sweater around your neck like
yeah,
it's the
sweat
80s,
around your neck,
which
and,
I do. I had it on
and
earlier.
your girlfriend's name is Buffet.
Buffy?
Yeah, stay away from the
Or
biker
buffet.
bar. It's not going to work out nicely for you. liquor store or 21 club, a 21 or over club if you're not 21 or over.
Wait a minute, they're all like 21 and over. Aren't
Yeah, so stay away from
But
it.
can't you get a fake ID at 15 down here
Yes,
now?
yes, and I know that Dan
know
the Time
someone.
Machine
Yes.
man in your local
Right.
college campus, he's a college dropout. He can make a hell of a
But
college
it's
ID.
not worth it. It's not worth it, right?
It's not
That
worth it.
doesn't
No,
make
no,
it
no.
right. Now you're in trouble
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in trouble for drinking underage, and
I'm sure the spring breakers are watching.
sure they are.
We're giving them some excellent advice.
Just
Absolutely.
do it. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Yara says
So-
no.
No, nobody's watching.
She didn't
All right.
say that. She said Yara's not watching.
Number 2, jail.
Jail.
Just avoid that. And then number 1 on my list.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into orders. Dying.
That's a good thing
yeah,
to avoid.
Just
It
stay
is.
away from dying. Yeah. Don't jump off of the 10th floor at Seacrest or Seascape.
Well, everybody wants to have a good time.
And make sure you don't
Be
put
safe.
too many people on a deck.
No,
you
yeah,
don't
we
wanna
had
have
a
a deck
problem a couple of
collapse.
weeks
Yeah.
ago with a deck
That's
collapsing.
Really? Where was
Yeah.
that?
I've done a Destin. house.
Destin.
Really?
Destin,
Yeah.
yeah.
They had
It was
11
awful.
people injured.
Be careful on the decks.
Okay,
though.
Yeah,
That's-
be
that's
careful on the
serious.
decks. Don't drink and drive.
That's good.
Don't
Driverless car.
Don't get in a driverless car.
Well, there aren't any.
Yeah. If you
think
get in a car, there's no driver.
Wait a minute.
Get out quickly.
Well,
Don't swim on double reds. We have
think-
at least
that's a good
11 or
one.
12 people die every year.
well, drowning is the biggest thing.
Drowning, yeah, it is a big thing because they get
We
swept
want
out.
everybody to be safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our surf conditions are serious, guys. And a double red,
Yeah.
do not go.
Well,
the water.
a lot of people are under depression because it's the Gulf and the waves aren't normally as big as they are in the Atlantic or the Pacific. The water's not as dangerous, and that
Right.
is just absolutely not true. You want to be careful when you see those double red flags or even the single red flags. You want to be cautious.
Actually,
So-
you want to be cautious even if you're in the water and the flags are appropriate for the conditions and enabling you to go in the water. You need to know what to do if you are caught in a rip
Rip
tide.
current, yes.
Just let it carry you out and then swim parallel to the shore
Sure.
and then come back in when you're out of the current.
Don't fight it.
It's actually easier than it looks.
And
And
the
actually,
Baywatch episode starts right now.
yeah,
Yes,
I hope so.
absolutely, absolutely.
I actually we were out on Memorial Weekend. Quick story. Memorial Weekend is probably about 4 or 5 years ago. We had friends up from Fort Lauderdale, and we are a group of us standing in the water up to about our chest height, and the water was calm. It was a north wind, and all of a sudden there were two guys who were about 40 yards away from us to our left. Next thing, they were 100 yards out. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen because the water was calm. So you still get rip currents even though
They didn't
it's
suspect it.
not-
Yeah.
Right, and it was, but they knew exactly what to do, and they obviously had experience with the water, and of course it's easier when it's calmer. But they just swam around and then came back out, and they were like, "Wow, we lost our drinks and everything," and they were literally just standing in still water. So yeah, guys, be safe out there. Apparently, we've only got a couple of minutes left.
Well, I'm thinking we got
So-
4
no, we're over, but we were late, so
when I jumped on.
you were late
so
because
we were
that
at 4.
bathroom thing.
Yeah, well.
Just saying.
So, well, anyway, I want to say one more thing, and then we'll sign off for today. War Eagle.
What about St. Patrick's?
Packers.
St. Packers?
Packers. What?
St. Packers?
St.
It
Packers?
says right there.
Oh, coming up in 2 weeks on the 18th. We do
It's
need to
less than
mention
2
this.
weeks.
Yes, less than 2 weeks. Week and some change.
18th.
Yeah, on the 18th, we have the 38 parade, the
Of
Celtic
March.
Irish Fest. Because
Is
it's
it Celtic or Celtic?
It's Celtic.
It's Celtic.
Okay.
Come on.
Celtic's
Come
the
on
team.
now. Larry,
Celtic is the
don't be
the
offensive,
race.
Steve. Don't
So yeah,
Just have a
don't be
little fun.
offensive.
of course. Yeah, it is a race actually.
There's a race, a
Do
parade.
you know the first slaves were Irish?
The first what?
Slaves were Irish. Nobody
Yeah.
ever brings that up.
Nobody brings that up.
Google it. There were 16,000 of them when they were taken to the sugar canes. Just saying.
Sure, absolutely.
Nobody ever brings that up. But St. Patrick's week, I always bring it up because nobody ever talks about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's coming up in
Thank
2
you for your
weeks.
support.
So, and our good friend Paul, he's the one that heads up the 38 parade.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Grand Master.
Sure.
It was the 10. This is not the 10. It's not 10 years since we did one. 2008 was the first one. But if you count, right? If you count 2008, 9, 10, 11,
you actually
12,
whipping out the
13,
fingers?
14, 15, 16, 17.
That's 10.
10 years.
I've run out of fingers and
Congratulations, by the way. That's
thumbs. Right? Thank you.
Yeah,
That's great.
So
absolutely.
the first year, a bunch of us just got in cars and we drove and had Irish flags on them. And now this year's, it's just so much fun to see it grow and have like 100 floats in it, and you know, guys
great.
putting sailboats in and sails up, and the last year's the guys that won was Schnell loggers. Hard to say after 2 beers. Schnell loggers, and they won 2 years in a row, and they had like giant arbor stuff on. I think that's for trees, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Like an arbory? Isn't that for honeybees?
Arborist.
Arborist.
Okay, good.
That's the person
Yes.
that does the arboring.
Good to know. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So, anywho,
Horticulturalist.
they had a super big float. So, guys, come on out, decorate your car, truck, whatever, you know. And this year, we just had permission from the county, because we do need that.
I need governmental
And to keep
permission
people
to
safe.
do things.
I'm
Yes.
all for it. We're allowed to toss
Confetti.
And
no
honey?
salad, no salads from
marijuana?
the on the north side only.
Okay.
So that the lane that is being closed for the actual parade, during the parade, we're allowed to interact with the audience.
I like that.
No.
And the
Nice.
kids love it. So, you know, just get out the green. Okay?
Yeah, get out the green, come out. I will be unveiling my special hat that I have purchased expressly.
A hat? You bought a hat?
I bought a hat.
That's it?
And wait. Now, let me explain my
Man.
commitment to this whole thing.
I was hoping you were going to be Friar Truck or something.
Normally, I grow my beard out for
I've never seen you
November.
without one.
Well, yes, full beard. Normally, I grow my full beard out for No Shave November,
Yeah, I
prostate cancer awareness.
I'm the same way.
This year, I decided to leave it
Forever?
forever and grow it at least until St. Patty's Day.
It's very ticklish, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it is.
Just saying. I thought I'd
I'm not
bring that
going
up.
there.
And I have a hat and a great T-shirt that I'm going to be wearing.
Wow.
I'll unveil next week on
Ooh.
next week's show.
That's a good idea. I think I'll dress up too.
Yeah. And,
Thank you for that.
you know, I do have the ginger beard. The hat, I'll just say
That's
this.
dyed.
The hat grows
I just
straight.
thought you were a heavy smoker.
You got somewhere to be? You keep trying to rush us.
That's because we're over time again.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So
it's all
thanks
good.
for joining us on Nothing Scripted. If you'd like to sponsor the show, email us at anyone@30a.tv.
Or just comment
Tune
below.
in next week,
Just comment.
and yeah, you can comment if you want to
like, and
sponsor.
share. And we appreciate you sharing it to
Absolutely.
other people, because if you think that much of us to actually share this, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. War Damn Eagle.
We're damn eagle.
War Damn Eagle.
We're out.